What's good, my bacon and eggs? Welcome back to another Sunday Breakfast, a weekly talk show where we sit down and get real each first Sunday of the week, and let's hop right on in. For today's topic, I want to talk about feeling like a loser, feeling low self-esteem towards yourself, and feeling like you don't achieve much when in reality you do achieve a lot. And let's just jump right into this topic. This is a feeling that me myself have, I guess, grappled with myself on the interior. I don't really show this much on the exterior because, well, this is a very depressing sight, an extremely kind of like devastating thing to feel, and you don't want to visibly kind of give off this sort of vibe. You want to put on your best self. I feel as though you should always put on your best self and not really feel like you have to pretend. You want to be your best self, and feeling like a loser is a step in the opposite direction of that. This comes with a lot of things. Our main topic today is just like disappointment in yourself and having shame that you are who you are. You know, you feel like a loser because you're inadequate in some way or another, or you feel as though you, by comparison, don't live up to what you dreamed or what you envisioned yourself to be. I relate to that heavy. I relate to that so much so that it's this constant lingering thought in my head that I need to be doing better at something. It's like a perfectionist mindset that I have. But I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist because I know that I can never be perfect. That's why I say I am a imperfect perfectionist, pretty much is what I usually go about. I like to fail because when I fail at something, I will never fail at it again. I have confidence in myself that that's the way that I will go about. But that still doesn't stop me from feeling like a loser at times. That still doesn't stop me from like feeling like I can be a perfect person when trying to be a perfect person is toxic to yourself, because you should embrace the imperfections and really stop dwelling on the fact that you could be something that literally nobody is. Everybody's putting on their best selves on the exterior for all of us to look at and just drool at, but when we actually peel the layers back, you'll see that it's not what it seems. Maybe being a loser isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe being a person with troubles and problems and things to grow better and get better at isn't as bad as it seems. Just feel more comfortable in your body, feel more comfortable in your day-to-day life with things that you are challenged on. You won't feel as though they're obstacles, but you'll feel as though they're just, things that you'll have to experience through your life. It's like a checkpoint. It's like a race. And with each checkpoint that you cross, you would hopefully have learned something from that experience that you just went through. Another topic about this feeling is like, how do I describe this? It's like your mind. You overthink things. You begin to kind of draft problems and scenarios in your head that kind of paint you in the worst light possible, because that's how our mind works. Our mind works in a way that is separate from us at times. Like, we have the conscious and we have the subconscious. One of them you can sort of control, the conscious. One of them you have no control over pretty much most of the time, the subconscious. Whatever your subconscious wants you to do, you're going to do it. I'm just saying that because the subconscious has a way of motivating and like pulling you in directions that you would have never dreamed that you would be doing. Like, for example, when you go to sleep, you don't really choose what you dream. It's just like your subconscious just pushes you in the direction, and you just go there willingly because why not? It's your subconscious. All that being said, though, why does this matter? Well, this matters because our mind is taking in loads of information, taking in loads of data, moving past all of the impressiveness of it. It can be devastating to our well-being when you could be having a nice day and then you see something that makes you feel as though you should be doing more. Like, let's say you're talking to someone and they're much more like knowledgeable on the subject you're talking about. It makes you feel kind of dumb, doesn't it? It makes you feel kind of like you're at school or you're at class and a kid raises their hand and they just know the answer like that while you were just totally confused on what the answer might have been, and you kind of just feel dumb. I feel like our mind doesn't want us to feel dumb. I feel like our mind just wants us to be like that person, which is helpful, really, which is helpful that our mind is pushing us in the direction like, hey, they knew that answer, why didn't you? Let's do better. Something like that. But also, I mean, like, that let's do better is both negatively and positively impacting you. And at some points, I mean, in general, negativity kind of overwrites positivity majority of the time. Negativity is much more potent than positivity. But let's move on to the next topic. Like, let's go back to the class example. You have a kid who knows the answer while you don't know the answer. So your goal would be to, I want to get smarter. Well, you get smarter, you make the goal to get smarter, and then you find yourself studying. You take the test, and you would think that, oh my God, all the studying that I've done, I'm going to nail these answers, and then you meet an answer that leaves you just as confused as you was before. Even though all the experience and all of the hurdles that you've gone through to get to this point, you still feel as though you're not there yet. And it can be quite, I'm trying to think of a word. It can be hurtful to like your self-esteem. Let's just say that. It can be really damaging to your mindset of, I want to get better, when you try to get better but don't get better, in a sense. If you try, and throughout all that trying, nothing results of that, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna sting. That's gonna burn. All of the above. That's gonna drastically set you back, probably even further than what your previous start point was. You started at level 1, now you're starting at level 0. Feeling like the results haven't shown themselves. It could be a matter of you're not testing yourself in the right way. You could study all that time on math, if you know the test isn't only about math, it's also about history, but you didn't study about history, so that's not really a fair test on yourself. So I would say judge yourself based on what you trained for. But you're going to know that you're doing so much better because you're going to feel better, and you're going to have much more confidence because of all the previous successes or the previous work that you've put in. And I just hope that you get there one day. I hope that you feel that feeling of accomplishment and not the feeling of being a loser or not the feeling of being inadequate any longer. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this resonated deep with you. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I got you thinking about something. And if I did, hopefully it helps you with your life, helps you in your day-to-day. But thanks for watching.